Imagine two men who had it all. Not just success, but total divine perfection. One man stood in a garden where even the air felt like a blessing. The other sat on a throne so magnificent that queens from across the world traveled months just to catch a glimpse. Adam had Eden. Solomon had wisdom. Both were handpicked by the Creator. Both were given authority that we can barely imagine. And yet, both stories end in the same tragic silence. How does a man who walks with God in the cool of the day end up hiding in the bushes? How does the wisest man to ever live end up building altars to the very demons his father David fought against? Today, we aren't just telling stories. We are performing an autopsy on the silent drift. Because if Eden couldn't keep Adam, and wisdom couldn't save Solomon, what hope do we have? The answer is found in the one thing they both forgot. Let's start in the garden. In your mind, see the vibrant greens and the crystal waters of your 3D world. Adam didn't have a Bible because he had the Word of God himself walking beside him. He lacked nothing. But God, in his infinite love, gave Adam a boundary. The tree of knowledge wasn't a trap. It was a test of trust. It was the only place in the universe where Adam could say no to himself and yes to God. Now look at Solomon. Thousands of years later, he is the new Adam of Israel. When God offered him anything, Solomon didn't ask for gold. He asked for a hearing heart. He wanted to be a mirror of God's justice. God was so moved that he turned Israel into a global superpower. Silver became as common as street stones. The temple was a masterpiece of cedar and gold. Solomon was the smartest, richest, and most influential person on the planet. Both men were at the peak. But the peak is the most dangerous place to be because the only way left to go is down. Here is the secret. Neither Adam nor Solomon fell because of a big decision. They fell because of 1,000 tiny ones. Adam didn't wake up and decide to ruin humanity. He first allowed a conversation. He stood by while the serpent questioned God's character. He allowed a question to replace a conviction. Solomon's fall was even more subtle. It started with diplomacy. He married foreign princesses to secure peace for his kingdom. It seemed like a smart, wise political move. But bit by bit, those wives brought their gods into the palace. Solomon didn't stop worshiping God. He just started worshiping other things alongside him. He didn't lose his faith, he diluted it. This is the silent drift. It's the slow, quiet erosion of your soul. It's when you stop reading the word for transformation and start reading it for information. It's when your prayer life goes from a conversation to a chore. We look at Adam and Solomon and think, how could they be so blind? But look at the mirror. Perhaps God has blessed you with a talent, a business, or a beautiful family. Those are your Eden. But has the blessing become more important than the blesser? When we become successful, we often stop being dependent. We start thinking our wisdom is what got us here. The silent drift happens when we stop being shocked by sin and start being flexible with it. It's the movie you know you shouldn't watch, the conversation you know you shouldn't have, or the pride you refuse to let go of. Like Solomon, we don't fall in a day. We drift until we look up and realize we are miles away from the shore. The story of Adam and Solomon is a tragedy. But the Bible is a comedy of grace. Because where the first Adam failed in a garden, the second Adam, Jesus, triumphed in a garden called Gethsemane. Where Solomon's heart was divided by 700 wives, Jesus' heart was completely set on his bride, the church. The path back from the drift starts with one word: surrender. Don't rely on your Eden or your wisdom. Rely on the cross. If you felt yourself drifting, let today be the day you turn the boat around. Subscribe to Bible Link Studio as we continue to explore these deep truths. And if you want to see where this drift eventually leads the world, click here to watch our deep dive into the four horsemen of the apocalypse.